The vision is more of what are we trying to achieve in life, not how many units am I trying to get. Hello and welcome to Pillars of Wealth Creation, where we talk about creating financial success with a special focus on business and real estate. I'm your host, Todd Dexheimer. Now, let's get to it. Hello and welcome back to Pillars of Wealth Creation. I'm your host, as always, Todd Dexheimer. With me, we got Matt Jones. Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Todd?
And I'm doing fantastic. It is one full week left of the year, or I guess a week and a half, whatever you want to call it. But the year was ended up being an extremely good year, and just excited to bring in 2022. But right now, a lot of reflection, a lot of really setting goals, a lot of spending time with family, and a little bit of work too. But just spending a lot of time appreciating the year, planning 2022, planning the first quarter, planning the first month, and then you know just again just spending time with family and friends and enjoying life, really. How about you, man? What's going on with you?
Yeah, we're gonna head out to visit my family here. So we're gonna spend a week in South Dakota. So
Yeah,
that should be good.
sunny South Dakota.
Used to be called the Sunshine State, but then Florida took over that title. I don't know why South Dakota
Yeah.
had that as their motto, but
Is that a true story?
that's
Or
a true story.
you gotta be joking?
No, I'm not joking. Yeah, like both Florida and South Dakota had their motto as the Sunshine State, and then
Yeah.
Florida sued South Dakota, so then South Dakota changed it to the Rushmore State.
Yeah. They should have never been called the Sunshine
Well,
State.
I think they were trying to like trick people to be like, "Hey, it's sunny South Dakota. Come on up."
Sunny South Dakota. Yeah. Come up and enjoy some snow and cold weather. Hey. Good stuff. Well, cool. So today, what are we gonna hit on? What are we gonna talk about?
Well, we're going to be talking about goal setting for 2022.
All right. So goal setting. So Matt, do you set goals?
I do.
And what do you like? Let's talk a little bit about your strategy, how you set goals, and maybe then we could talk a little bit about my strategy. Maybe there's a lot of similarities, maybe it's exactly the similar or exactly the same. But talk a little bit about your technique. What do you do? How do you like to go into do it?
Well, I start in the long run, and then I work my way backwards. So I start by looking at my vision, my why, like what is my ultimate accomplishments that I want to achieve in my life. And so then work my way back from there. So I see what my end goal is, and then I see like, okay, over the next 5 years, what do I need to accomplish by then in order to get to that long term vision? And then from there, like, okay, well, how about in the next 3 years? What do I need to get to, be on pace to achieve those goals by the end of 3 years? And then 1 year, and then okay, over the course of 1 year, like break it down month by month, and then so then it becomes more achievable when I take it in small bites. If I look at my grand vision like all at once, like, oh, where do I begin? I don't even know. But the smaller I break it down, the more easy it is to accomplish step by step.
Yeah, and for me, the vision, I think a lot of times you hear people talking about specifically, like, what do you want? I want to get 10,000 multifamily units. I want to, get this, do this. For me, the vision is more, the vision is more of what are we trying to achieve in life, not how many units am I trying to get. So for me, it's what am I actually trying to accomplish and do? So for me, it's how I want to affect other people. For me, it's how big of a company do I want to grow, and what's that going to do for myself? What's that going to do for my family? And what's that going to do for other people that I want to positively affect? And so I think that to me is how I look at my vision. And then I can go, okay, well, what does that look like a little bit? Because I don't have to pigeonhole myself to my company getting to 10,000 units. Because when we get there, then where are we going? Um, we want to make a true positive impact, right? We want to affect thousands of people in a positive manner. Yeah, we want to live a financially free, I guess. That's kind of cheesy, right? That's a lot of people use that, but we want to be able to not worry about our finances as a family, individually. So I look at more of what we're trying to do, how we're trying to affect things, and then I can back that in and go, okay, so if I'm going to do that, what does my company look like? How big does it look? How many employees are we going to have? Who's going to be behind the scenes? Who's going to be out in front? And we can start really kind of diving into what we'd like that to look like. Same thing with our life. What are we trying to achieve? How Personal life, like what's our relationships look like? What are we trying to do? How does that collide with our business? How does it actually integrate with our business? Because work life balance is not a thing, in my opinion. You can't have a work life balance. You've got work and you've got life, but we want to try to get them to where not colliding, not grinding each other as much as we can. Right? They're still going to. It's just going to happen. Sometimes work is going to be front and center. And sometimes your personal life, your family, your health is going to be front and center. Your religion is going to be front and center. Not that they need to be put to the complete back burner, right? But there's seasons of your life. So, and see, you know, different times of the week, right? On weekends, I specifically make a point to make that family time for my family, time for church, not so much time for work, right? I'll also take time during the weekdays at sometimes too, and make that a focused time for my family, time for volunteering, time for my health, whatever it might be.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is, you're focusing on your why, and that's driving your daily work as well. When you have that grand vision, the reason why are you doing all of this, and like you said, number of units isn't enough of a why. I mean, number of units is meaningless in my mind. If I own
Yeah.
0.01% of 10,000 units, that's one unit.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it's funny. I just you know, just heard somebody celebrating that they've got 300 million or 400 million or whatever it is assets under management. And I know this person, and congratulations, by the way. They've done an amazing job. I don't want to take that away. They've done an amazing job, and I'm super proud of them. Um, but their 400,000 or 400 million of assets under management looks a lot different than other people's 100 million, half of, fifty million under management. Because, their ownership is probably 1%, maybe 2%, where some of these other people might have even 10 million assets under management, but they own 100% of it. So you can't compare. I think you got to really define what that looks like. A company that has 10,000 units could be amazing company. It could be not a very good company. So I'm more important to me is not how many units we get, is how strong our company is. It's how profitable our company is. It's how we are providing profits to our investors. It's how we are treating our residents, right? That's much more important to me than the number of units we have, the number of assets under management we have. Because I could go out there, Matt, and you could go out there. We could both go run around and just raise some capital for deals, or be a small part of a bunch of deals that are crappy deals, or maybe they're even good deals, but it doesn't match with our vision. That doesn't make any sense. Now, if it aligns with your vision, maybe that makes sense. This person that I was talking about, it aligns with his vision to do what he's doing. He's doing an excellent job at it. And again, I'm not trying to take anything away from of him, which is why I'm not mentioning his name, of course. But that's a different look of a company. That's a different vision than what you may have. So sometimes we get caught up in somebody else has 300 million, 400 million, 500 million under assets under management, 5,000 units, 10,000 units. We need to do the same thing. Well, do you really? What's it look like? What are you trying to achieve? And what are they trying to achieve? It might be totally different things. So why try to go after their goals?
That's a great point because like, it doesn't matter what other people are doing, and comparing yourself to other people is meaningless as well.
Yeah.
You can only compare yourself to yourself, and are
Right.
you achieving the best that you can?
Yep. Yep. And that's why we try not to focus. That's why I try not to, at least in the long term, I try not to focus on the number. I try not to focus on we're going to achieve this big specific number, right? Um, I did set out. It's funny. I was actually just talking with my wife about this, and this kind of contradicts what I just said. But I set out. I think when I was about 27, 28, at a net worth goal. I was trying to hit a specific net worth by the time I turned 40, and I will be turning 40 in 2022. And I said to my wife, I said, "Hey, I didn't even think about it. Like it just like dawned on me. I've actually hit and exceeded my net worth goal that I made, back when I was like I said, when I was 28, 27, 28. But by the time I turned 40. And so it was kind of cool. But at the same time, I was like, what does it really mean? It doesn't really mean anything. It, what really means more to me is am I actually doing what I want to do, right? Am I actually affecting the people that I want to affect? Am I giving back like I said I was going to? Am I doing those types of things? Like and that actually got me thinking, like we're specifically in 2021 here towards the end, and in 2022 it's part of my goals is I haven't been giving the way I had planned on giving. I said by the time I got to this specific net worth that I'd be giving a lot more money than I'm currently giving. And so something we're being intentional about right now is we set aside a dollar amount that we're going to give before the end of the year. And then in 2022, we're going to specifically look at financially what we should be giving and make sure we're actually doing that and being conscious, making good informed decisions about that.
Very cool. I mean, that's obviously a very integral part of your why and what's driving you because you know you're having this positive impact on the world by accomplishing these smaller goals.
But it's easy, Matt, to get lost in
Mm,
the
mhm.
excitement of like we're building a company and growing our net worth and doing all this, and then you forget about some of the things that you set out to do, especially if you don't have that written vision, if you're not looking at it every year, kind of remolding it every year and looking at it consistently throughout the year. It's easy to forget.
Yeah, I agree. And occasionally, not all the time. I need to be better at it, and that's one of my goals for 2022 is to write down my daily goals and my grander vision daily. So it's like really front and foremost for me of like, okay, what do I need to accomplish today, and how does that impact my greater why?
Yeah, and one of the things about goals, and so this is gets to where you really started at when you start talking on this episode, is that we start with our vision, right? So if let's just say we're talking personal health, right? What are you going to look like when you're 80 years old? Are you going to be overweight? Are you going to be able to stand up and walk across your house? Are you going to be able to go for a walk with your grandkids? Are you going to be, what are you going to be looking like? What are you going to be feeling like? Okay. So when I look at when I'm 80, I'm going to be like climbing mountains, right? I'm going to have a six pack, right? I'm going to not only be going for a walk with my grandkids, but I'm going to be wrestling them and throwing a ball to them and racing them down the street. Like that's what I'm going to look like when I'm 80. Okay. So I want to look like that when I'm 80. I want to act like that when I'm 80. What does that mean? What do I have to do right now? So that's my vision. Now I have a purpose. If I just say I want to get skinny, what's that mean? Skinny for when? Skinny right now? How long? Right? And is
And
that
for
really
why?
and why? Like, is that really motivating? Like, I want to get skinny. Like, that's not very motivating. I want to be healthy. I want to eat healthy. But why? What are we doing? So we have to really look at what are the consequences if I keep. What are the consequences if I crack that bottle of Mountain Dew and drink it? It's just one bottle. But what are the consequences? What are the consequences if I dig into that ice cream? Right? What are the consequences if I don't exercise this week or today or tomorrow? Like, what's that mean? Right? And so you have to understand that, and you have to have that vision, and then we have to break down. Okay, so what's it look like? It we want to make sure we set up realistic goals, but goals that are going to last for a long time, right? Going to last forever. I don't want a goal. I don't want a New Year's resolution that lasts me until February or March or January 4th, like most people, right? Um, we want to break it down. So I want to know. Here's one of the things, and I talked about this I think last week too, Matt, is that it's easy to get stuck in this. Like we went through Christmas and um, saw a lot of family friends. We maybe took some time off. New Year's, we hung out, and then the first of the year starts, and it's easy to get kind of just complacent, right? I'll get to that soon. Or I want what I like to do is have my full vision. I like to have my year goal. I like to have my first quarter goal, and I like to have my first month goal, and then I like to have my very first week goal. And then from there, I like to have my very first day goal. I break down the entire week. Um, that helps me get 2022 started the right way on day one, not tomorrow, not the next day, right away, day one. And actually, usually it's day two because day one, usually we're hanging out with family on the first. Uh, but the first day of when I go back to work, whatever day that might be, that's that Monday or Thursday or whatever day it is. I want to hit the ground running, and I want to be on top of my game right away.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about those daily choices, like you say. Like, do I, have this bottle of Mountain Dew, or do I watch one more episode of my show on Netflix or whatever? Like each choice has a reverberating impact upon your life and your bigger goals.
Yep. Yep, it's easy to get caught in the fray. It's easy to get caught up into to what other people are doing or all the distractions that are out there. We've all got these like little magical devices that have so much on them that it's easy to get caught up in them and not even realize that we just lost an hour and a half today because of this little device. We lost an hour and a half or 3 hours or 5 hours. Like it's easy to get caught up in it and not even understand it. And like you pick this thing up and you start looking at a couple things and you spend 10 minutes on it, right? And you do that 5 times throughout the day. And all of a sudden you've basically lost an hour of your day plus your distraction time. You've probably lost an hour and a half of your day by getting refocused and all that kind of stuff and then spending it on the phone. So it's so easy to get lost in some of that stuff and not realize it. But if you have these goals, I feel like it's a lot easier to shake your head off and go, no, I'm not going to do that right now.
Yeah, and I mean, it all adds up, those little distractions and things like that. Like if you just had an hour of extra focused attention on your goals each day, that's 365 hours throughout the year that you're really making more progress that you wouldn't have otherwise if you would have just kept your old habits.
Yeah. I mean, think about that 365 extra hours that you now, if you could have that back, right? That's powerful. I mean, you think of the regular work week as 40 hours, right? I mean, you're at what is it?
That's like
It's
a little
like
over
9 days.
9 weeks.
Sorry, 9 weeks. Yeah. So you got like 9 weeks. Well, we got 52 weeks in a year. You can have an extra 9 weeks on top of what everybody else has. How much could you get done? Like that's 2 months, right? If your year is 14 months and everybody else's year is 12, you've got a superhuman advantage, right? There's no excuses. So, all right. So let's dig real quick. Goal setting. So we talked about the vision, right? You have your vision and really understand what you're trying to achieve. I think this is really important. I think a lot of people just downplay this and downplay goal setting, quite frankly, because I'll talk to a lot of people that want me to look at mentoring them, and that's a big thing I ask is, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? Because I don't want to just take anybody, right? I want to take people that are actually going to take action and make something happen. And so that's one of the biggest things. What are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? And I get a lot of times I get that. Well, I haven't really thought about that yet. So why are you talking to me if you haven't thought about it yet? Because you're looking at paying me for what you have no clue what you want to do. Like that doesn't make any sense. So you have, but a lot of people, they haven't really thought of their vision. They haven't thought about what are they trying to achieve. What is it that you're actually trying to achieve, and then let's break it down. So what's that look like? Well, if you're a multifamily person, it's buying multifamily. If you're a real estate, it's buying real estate. If you're a business owner, it's growing your business. But to what extent, right? So what do we need to do this year to grow it? You can even break it down more. You could say, hey, what do I want to do in 5 years, right? What do I want long term? What do I want 5 years? What do I want 1 year? But we'll break it down into 1 year. What do we want to achieve this year? And then I want to break it down to what do I want to achieve this quarter. So if I do everything I need to do this quarter, how will it get me to a great year? Then I want to break it down to a month. What do I need to do this month to achieve that? And then I want to break it down into a week. And then I want to go, okay, what am I going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to make sure my goals for the week are being achieved? I also like to, within that, Matt, break down what are my consistent tasks. So let's just give an example, multifamily. I need to underwrite 3 deals per week. Okay, really achievable. I need to underwrite 3 deals a week. How do I do that? That means I need to talk to how many brokers per day. Maybe I need to talk to 2 brokers per day, per week, 5 brokers, 8 brokers per week, whatever I need to do. I need to get on their mailing lists. I need to talk with property management companies. How many? I like numbers. I like to know if I'm going to underwrite 3 deals per week, that's really achievable. I can check the box. I can say on Monday, I'm going to underwrite a deal. On Wednesday, I'm going to underwrite a deal. And on Friday, I'm going to underwrite a deal. Or maybe I set one day aside. But I can actually check those boxes and I can underwrite those deals. That maybe stemmed from, and I should have started there. I want to purchase one property in quarter one. Okay. If I want to purchase one property in quarter one, how many deals do I have to underwrite to get one? Well, it seems like I gotta, whatever what everybody says and what I've seen, and I gotta underwrite 150 deals. Okay, gotta underwrite 150 deals. Take 150. How many days do we got? We got 90 days. All right. How many deals do I got to underwrite a day? Right. Well, now I got to underwrite, almost 2 deals a day to get to 150. Right. So, but I know what I need to do. Right. And it's achievable. So that's what I mean by really getting to know your numbers, really understanding, and we want these daily tasks or weekly tasks, things that we have to do every single week, things that we have to do every single day. What are our important things? We really want to understand our rocks, right? Our big green, like these green areas. In green, by we're going to grow, right? Um, if I've got something that's going to grow my business, that goes into that bucket. That's something you got to do every day. That's not that other stuff the busy work, the checking the emails, that kind of stuff. That does not. I don't need to check my emails 7 times a day, right? That doesn't need to go on my goal list. Maybe my goal list needs to say I only check emails once a day, right? Um, but we want to make sure we've got those big rocks, those big green areas that are going to grow your business. We want to have those and make sure we're actually doing those on a daily or a weekly basis, so that we can achieve what we set out to achieve.
Really like using SMART goals, and SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So for my goals, it needs to be specific. It needs to really be laid out where it's clear what it is. It needs
Yeah.
to be measurable so I know whether or not I'm accomplishing the goal or not. And it needs to be attainable, like something realistic, like you say. It needs to be relevant where it's connected with my bigger why, my bigger reason. Otherwise, it's hard to really accomplish. And it needs to be time based. I work good under pressure. So like if I have like specific timelines where I'm like, okay, this I need to get done by this date, yeah, it motivates me to get it done in time.
Yeah. And one of the reasons, Matt, I really like breaking our goals down instead of, I like having my yearly goals. Like I like that, but I like to break it down into a quarter and then into a month and farther, because if I just have goals for the entire year, it's easy to procrastinate. It's easy to
Mm.
just push that away and go, well, I got a ton of time. I want to buy 800 units this year. I got a lot of time to be able to do that, you know. But if I need to close on 200 units in quarter one, that puts some pressure on, right? If I need to close, if I need to make, underwrite 2 deals per day, that puts some pressure on, right? If I need to reach out to 6 brokers per week, I know I need to do that. And I have to do it in order to attain my goals. But if I just break it down and say I'm going to buy 800 units this year, well, when? Like I could I could buy it December 31st, 2022 or 2022. Like is that a great, did we do a good job? And what happens when that comes and it goes, right? Oh shoot, I missed my entire goal because I waited until the very end.
And it's all too easy to fall into the trap of like, oh, well, I promised myself I'll do this tomorrow instead of today. I'll give myself a break today,
I'm
and then
guilty of it all the time, man.
and then tomorrow comes. Like, oh, I didn't get it done today. I'll do it tomorrow, and then it just goes on and on.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that all the time. Oh
Mm.
man, yeah. Exercise. I'm going to exercise, 5 days this week, and then or 7 days. So I'm going to exercise every day this week, and then it's like, ah, it's okay to miss one day. My body needs a recovery day, anyways. I'll do it. I'll get back on track tomorrow, and then all of a sudden it's like I missed 2 days in a row, and then all of a sudden I like, you know, yeah, I only worked out 3 days that week, or whatever it might be, so it's really easy. Or you know, uh, it's already so late. I'm not going to call any brokers. I'm sure they're busy. Super easy to push it off. Like, oh, it's lunchtime. They don't want to talk to me at lunchtime, and then you get busy and caught up, and you're like, it's 5 o'clock. I'm sure they're already done for the day. I'll call them tomorrow. Wait a second. You didn't do anything you said you were going to do.
And we know how to like convince ourselves, especially if you want to be convinced. Like it's easy to tell yourself, oh, it's okay to take a day off, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about this last week, Matt, but I think it's really important to look at what worked in 2021, what actually worked for you, what were your wins, what were your true wins. Celebrate those wins, be proud of those wins, and look at that then, and look at that as a roadmap for 2022. And then what can you do better, right? What did you not achieve? Go look back at your goals. What didn't you achieve and why? Maybe some of them you didn't achieve, but you're glad you didn't achieve them, right? You go, well, I achieved different goals, and those were even better. That happens sometimes, by the way. So, what did you not achieve and why? What did you achieve that you didn't even set out to achieve that you're super proud of? Um, and then, of course, what do you want this year to look like? But I think you need to reflect on 2021 to really be able to focus on 2022.
I think that's kind of what we'll talk about next week a little bit. Lessons that we've learned, things that, that we've grown from during the course of 2021.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, anything else on goals for you, for the audience, from you
No,
for the audience?
I think that's it for today.
Okay. Perfect. Well, look, listeners, just go out there, actually spend the time, create your goals. I think it's so important. I think it's something that a lot of people just brush off and say, well, whatever. It's not that. It's just fluffy stuff that I don't need to spend time on. I really think it is fluffy stuff, by the way, to spend time on if you don't actually do it the right way. If you just sit there and write your goals haphazard, you're not paying attention, you don't put a lot of time and energy into it, you're not making smart goals, right? You got to make the goals that are really results orientated, time stamped, really have a purpose and an impact on your business or your personal life or whatever it might be. If you're doing that, then it makes a lot of sense. If you're not, if you're just quickly going through them just because somebody told you got to do goals, then it's fluff. Then it doesn't matter. Don't even do them.
Yeah. And I mean, nobody's going to set your goals for you. It's up to you to
It's up to you.
decide your own goals, to take control of your life and your future.
Well, that's what's so fun about it, but that's also what's so hard about it too.
Mhm.
So, all right, man. Well, you have a fantastic rest of the day. Make every day Saturday.
Thanks. You too.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. I appreciate you being a loyal listener. Say, I would love to have you go on to our Facebook page and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Go on to iTunes or wherever you listen and give us a rating and review. Don't forget to subscribe. But your rating and review just helps us push this out to more and more people and continue to grow our audience and hopefully positively affect a ton of people out there that really need this and want this. So the other thing I've got for you is a free ebook on my website. So go on to venturedproperties.com, and download our free ebook on real estate and on syndication. And I've got some data points in there, some really good stuff for you. So I'd love to have you take a look at that. It's free. I'm not expecting anything from it. And also, look, if you want some help in multifamily, want some help learning, growing, getting your business off the ground, I would love to talk to you about what it would look like to work with me potentially and see if that's a good fit. So you can go to coachwithdex.com and check that out, and we can definitely have a call. Thanks a lot for listening. You make it a fantastic rest of the day. I'll catch you on the next episode.